This is a major development shaking the global financial community and particularly sparking celebration among IQD holders around the world. In a move that has stunned currency observers and injected fresh energy into the ongoing speculation about the revaluation of the Iraqi dinar, reliable sources and verified banking reports confirm that all note denominations of the IQD are now being accepted, a shift that signals significant momentum behind what many have long believed could be a transformative event in the global currency landscape. For years, holders of the Iraqi dinar have waited with mixed emotions: hope, skepticism, and determination. As whispers of policy changes, central bank updates, and international financial alignments have floated across forums, financial reports, and government briefings. But now, with all denominations, from the smaller 50 IQD notes to the larger 25,000 notes, being verified, recognized, and processed without restriction, something tangible has shifted. This isn't just another rumor. The confirmation that no denomination is being excluded adds a serious layer of legitimacy to the ongoing movement within Iraq's monetary policy. Historically, certain note sizes have often been disregarded in the exchange or conversion process, prompting concern and frustration among investors and everyday holders. But this recent adjustment, clearly policy-backed, is triggering a wave of reaction, particularly among overseas holders, as banks and money exchangers are now reporting full acceptance across the board. That's not just a footnote in a central bank memo. That's operational change happening in real time. Why is this important? Because the long-standing debate about the credibility of holding the Iraqi dinar has often hinged on the usability and acceptance of all note denominations. In financial systems where a currency may be undergoing internal restructuring, redenomination, or inflation control, it's not uncommon to see governments remove or phase out certain denominations, especially lower ones. But what we're seeing here is the opposite: the reaffirmation that every printed denomination has value and is included in the evolving monetary mechanism. That matters not just for Iraq's internal financial stability, but also for those watching for international signals. The announcement has prompted immediate activity across financial forums and investor groups. Exchange offices are confirming receipt and validation of all denominations without hesitation. Certain financial institutions, especially in the Middle East and parts of Europe, have reportedly begun facilitating transactions and exchanges with less friction. This comes as some Gulf-based banks have begun updating their currency recognition protocols, indicating integration with central databases that now recognize a wider range of dinar notes. This operational move, subtle though it may seem, is considered by insiders as a major validation of the IQD's role in future economic plans. Meanwhile, social media has exploded with reactions. From longtime holders who bought in years ago to newer investors who entered the scene more cautiously, the response is overwhelmingly one of cautious optimism. Many are celebrating this as the first truly undeniable sign that the dinar is stepping closer to broader international engagement. Videos are surfacing of exchange confirmations, receipts being shared, and messages from exchange counters around the globe confirming that no notes are being turned away. That includes denominations that previously may have sat in limbo, uncertain in value, unaccepted by third-party services, or just collecting dust in safes. The Iraqi government, though officially reserved in their public comments, has recently made several administrative and policy-level changes that align with this development. The Central Bank of Iraq, while not issuing a formal statement explicitly naming this move, has quietly updated several internal processes. These include updated serial number tracking for all denominations, enhanced anti-counterfeit measures, and new export-import rules for cash flow management. Sources close to Iraqi banking officials note that this is part of a broader roadmap aimed at stabilizing the national currency, attracting foreign investment, and preparing for long-term financial reforms that may eventually include a rate adjustment or integration into regional digital frameworks. This moment, however, should not be interpreted as confirmation of an imminent revaluation. Experts are warning that while this step represents a very real shift, it does not necessarily mean that overnight rate changes or speculative surges are about to take place. Still, for IQD holders, this is a breakthrough. What it does mean, in no uncertain terms, is that the infrastructure around the dinar is becoming more functional, more uniform, and more integrated than it has been in years. That can only happen with deliberate intention, and in financial policy, intention matters. Even more compelling are the early reports coming out of major currency hubs. In London, one prominent currency brokerage confirmed that it has begun allowing bulk transactions of dinar notes, regardless of denomination, without imposing manual review flags that were standard practice until recently. In Canada, a financial services group working with Middle Eastern clients issued a circular internally confirming updated acceptance policy and guidance on IQD handling. And in parts of Asia, particularly Singapore and Malaysia, foreign currency desks are reportedly receiving inquiries and processing conversions at a higher rate than usual, some even showing signs of a renewed liquidity flow in IQD trades. These operational shifts are being taken seriously by analysts who've tracked the IQD's path since the post-war period. Many believe that Iraq's recent moves, including large-scale infrastructure agreements with global partners, oil contract restructuring, and regional economic diplomacy, are not isolated. Instead, they are being read as synchronized steps toward elevating Iraq's economic identity. That kind of strategy does not typically happen without planning, and currency management is always one of the foundational components of that planning. Still, this news brings with it a wave of questions. What comes next? Will Iraq move toward a formal redenomination process? Will international financial bodies start reevaluating the status of the IQD? And most critically, will this moment be the catalyst for a revaluation, a word that has echoed in IQD circles for more than a decade? It's still too early to say definitively, but the fact that all denominations are now flowing freely within accepted currency channels is no small feat for IQD holders. It signals security. It suggests structure. And above all, it implies that the system is being prepared carefully, quietly, but with undeniable forward momentum. Whether that system evolves into something as dramatic as a revaluation or simply marks the beginning of Iraq's steady rise into the mainstream financial framework, the implications are deep and lasting. As always, caution remains key. Financial analysts urge holders to stay informed, avoid rash decisions, and consult with legal or financial advisors before making large moves. The history of speculative currency holding is full of premature excitement and unexpected reversals. But this time, something is clearly different. The infrastructure has shifted. The policy seems aligned. And for the first time in years, the signals are not just speculative, they're operational, procedural, and they're happening now. In the world of global currencies, few moments capture attention like this. The IQD community, vast, diverse, and long-suffering, now finds itself at a turning point. Whether that turn leads to the long-hoped-for financial uplift or simply brings clarity to an otherwise opaque investment space, one thing is certain: the era of limited acceptance is over. All note denominations are now welcomed, recognized, and validated. The door is open, and that's a reason for IQD holders to celebrate. But more importantly, it's a reason to watch closely, because this could very well be the first true ripple of a wave that's been building silently, patiently, and inevitably. Stay alert, stay grounded, and stay informed.